something I was saying in one of my previous videos today, I wanted to expound on or expand on whatever the proper word is, but I didn't. It's something, a lot of times when I'm doing videos, this isn't all written down. A lot of it's, just what's comes into my head at the moment. And it makes me realize things that I want to make clear, that I've made clear before, but I want to do it again. Because the separation is what's important. In music, in scale work on your guitar, the separation is the important thing. That's what makes your sound like you. Anyway, so the separation between me and a lot of others, let's say. The Chris Cornell thing, I said in one of my earlier videos that, it wasn't something where I did one video on Chris Cornell and it got a lot of views because I mentioned Dr. Drew and Chris Cornell and everything. And at the time, I didn't know the whole story. All of a sudden, it gained traction. And a lot of people started watching. It was one of these organic, weird things. And I could tell it was going to blow up. I could feel it. It felt like that. It was weird. Nothing ever like this has ever happened before. With a celebrity or with a star, I think a lot of people used to say in comments, it was weird, it was strange, it had this weird kind of momentum, and it was going to get big, I could tell, but people made sure that didn't happen, which I always knew I would face that, because I'm not the bullshit YouTube channel that, the fake smiles, the fake interest, the fakery. That's not me. I can't do it. Even if they paid me a lot of money to do it, I couldn't do it. Just not me. It doesn't feel right. You would know I was a fraud in 5 seconds. Anyway, if I tried to do that, you would see it. Anyway, yeah, it wasn't like, oh wow, this Cornell thing is getting me views and attention and fame and all that. No. It was really personal for me. Here's the history of me and, the band Soundgarden, that I idolized when I was a teenager, 17, 18, 19, early 20s, you know what I mean? Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Screaming Trees, Nirvana, idolized these guys. Thought they were the greatest gift. God's gift to the earth, musically. Just idolized them. I'm the guy at 17 years old with a shitty imitation Japanese Fender Stratocaster trying to learn from a tablature book, Outshined, or Rusty Cage. Those two songs specifically I paid extra attention to. To where today I even still remember some of the riffs. The thing with Soundgarden songs is once you get to a Kim Thayil solo, you might as well stop there because there's not a man on earth that can play a Kim Thayil solo. It probably has a lot of approximation or something, what he's feeling in the moment. I don't know, but I can't think of a human being that could do a Kim Thayil solo and it would sound like Kim Thayil the right way. It's too strange, okay? I've never heard anyone really try a Kim Thayil solo. I wouldn't bother. That's where I stopped with the tablature books. Learning all the other riffs, the cool things, I was like, okay. But then I got to the solos with Kim Thayil specifically. I said, okay, that's Kim Thayil. He's the only human on earth that can play solos like that. No one can. I don't care whose name you throw at me. No one can. I knew that even as a young man. The Pearl Jam tablature book, on the other hand, I attempted a lot of those solos. I learned pieces of them through repetition, not skill. And, people thought I was, wow, my God, you can play a Pearl Jam song? Yeah, that's not skill, though. That's repetition. Once you know chord theory and music theory, and you can write your own songs, that's skill. That's creativity, not playing other people's music. Anyway, everyone starts there, though. I'm not insulting anyone. Where am I going with this? Where am I going with this? My point again, I would attempt the Pearl Jam solos, the Kim Thayil solos, no. So again, I was the guy at 17 trying to learn Soundgarden songs, trying to learn how to sing like Chris Cornell, like Eddie Vedder, like various people. I used to say on camera all the time, Chris Cornell taught me how to sing. And I believe that. But by proxy, I wasn't at his house and him teaching me. He's a generation ahead of me, or a few years older than me. By proxy, and I learned things from other singers, definitely. Ozzy especially, Eddie Vedder especially, Mark Lanegan especially, Lane Staley. I learned a lot of things from a lot of other people, but I really learned from Chris Cornell. Things he did in his songs stay in my head to this day. From practicing it, I wanted to be a musician when I was a young man. I thought about jumping into that arena to the point I bought Breaking Into the Music Business, a book written by a Jewish lawyer. I can't remember his name. Excellent book. And it really just broke the realities of the music industry. Like, the songwriter gets more money than the other band members because he's the songwriter. That causes tension in a band. That's a problem every time. There's always animosity when you get 4 or 5 humans together and one is being paid more than the other 4 or other 3. Always will cause a problem somewhere. So that's a legit consideration you got to think of if you want to start a band. You're a young man, and you're a drummer or a bass player. You're not writing the songs or something. You know what I mean? You get less money. It broke down royalties, how dumbass young guys and girls get an advance of $2 million to record an album, and they go immediately to the Porsche dealer. And that's the wrong way to go. You use the money to make your fucking album because it's kind of a loan in some instances. Not every contract is, here's the money, we're going to pay for everything. It's not a loan. Not many contracts are like that. Often it's presented as like a loan. In other words, they expect a return on their investment in you 4 guys or girls or whatever that are putting music out. They're backing you to get that music out and get exposure so people actually buy it. They want a return. If they don't get a return because you're a fuck up and you spend all the money on drugs and Porsches, you're going to go out of business real quick and your band's going to be over real quick. Anyway, I'm the guy that was doing that at 17. I'm the guy that was listening to Soundgarden songs so intensely with a musical ear, trying to learn a craft for years. I never in a million years thought Eddie Vedder or Chris Cornell or Mark Lanegan or Lane Staley or anyone would die of some weird suicide in a hotel room. It shocked me, and I was furious in the beginning. And it still bothers me. How his legacy has been treated by certain people is disgusting. My whole point is with all this, this wasn't just a grift for me. I really meant the things I said. When I said them, I was sincere. I really believed, okay? I have great respect for that man because that man changed my life in certain ways. Had a big impact on my life, even though I never met him. Only seen him in concert a few times. Excellent shows, by the way. Back when he was real young and real strong. Not that he was any slouch at 53, because his half effort or lesser effort at 53 is better than any human on the planet. When you don't have the youth of being 22 years old anymore. That's everybody. Not many people are immune to that. I don't blame him for that one bit. But, even him at that speed, at that level, is better than anyone. So there's that. So my point is, I really cared about all this. I took it very seriously. This wasn't just a, how can Nick get on YouTube and get famous type thing and become a millionaire? No, I'd never approached it that way. Ever. And I never expected anything to happen. I never expected to get a lot of views or anything on any videos. I never expected to get a video with Tom Grant. That just kind of fell out of the air. Strange, man. Strange. It's almost like I was meant to do this or something. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. But, you know, when you got millionaires trying to shut you up, you got websites happy to oblige, what can you do? You know? I don't know. Anyway, my point is, I really cared about this. I wasn't selling t-shirts and getting mad when my audience didn't buy them. I wasn't selling coffee mugs and, you know, trying to turn this into a business. I meant what I did, and I did it sincerely. And again, I stand on my record for the past 8 years, and a lot of other entities that have run background checks on me or accused me of things or are suspicious of me, I guarantee my record's cleaner than yours is. I guarantee it. That's the irony of all this. I get told by, you know, the moral compasses, moral barometers at corporate America who platform adjudicated defamers and liars. I get told I'm not good enough. I'm doing something wrong. Yeah. That's where it's at. I'm glad we're at this point again, because I can stand on my record. No cease and desists, no lawsuits. Ever. Or threats of them. To me, anyway. So again, you know, I really meant what I was doing. That's the difference, again, between me and dudes that sell t-shirts and get mad when their audience only buys 2. Or, you know, me and the adjudicated rapists and liars and defamers. The people that charge $1,500 per minute on a video call. That's the difference between me and them. That's the difference between me and the corporation that dares judge me when we all know what their main motivation is. Money, of course, and whatever they got to do to get it. So even them, you know, I can't take any of it seriously, because none of them even have the right to judge me, because I'm cleaner than they are by a long shot. Ain't no court documents with me lying my ass off out there. Sorry. Have a good day.